Well, hello, everybody. I'm Gretchen Heido, Master Coach, and I'm so happy to talk to you about my Stairway to Six program today. And I'm with my lovely friend and colleague, Samantha Sinclair. She is an instructor for the Life Purpose Institute. She teaches the advanced training program there. She coaches new coaches, and she's also a life and leadership coach. And she came today to talk to us a little bit about her experience in Stairway to Six and what it was like coaching with me as well. And I'm just so happy to have you here today, Samantha.
Thank you, Gretchen. It's so great to be with you.
Yeah, so for the people who are watching this and the new coaches that are thinking about how they might want to learn how to connect to clients, find clients, connect to clients, are there things such as clients? What can you tell them about the Stairway to Six program and your journey?
I feel so blessed to have been through Stairway to Six, simply because, especially when you have your own business, I've been a coach for a very long time. There's so much information out there. You can get information overload, so many different programs and plans. It can seem really complicated. I can tell you that Stairway to Six breaks everything down so simply into the step-by-step way to go from one conversation at a time. So that was huge for me, because right before I began working with you, I was really considering creating the Rube Goldberg machine of complicated marketing techniques in digital marketing. And I really didn't even have a solid grasp of the foundations of enrolling clients and like serving clients. So yeah, it was massively helpful from that point of view.
That's so fantastic. And here's the thing about Samantha is you're such a go-getter. One of the things that we worked on was who do you work with? And edge walkers was one of the words that came through and that we talked about. And I wonder, through the Stairway to Six program, there was that module on who's your client and how do you find your client. And when you and I came upon that edge walker kind of descriptor, how did you apply that into, connecting with potential edge walkers?
Thank you so much for that. I honestly have to say that another reason why I found myself in this program is I wanted to reinvigorate my interest in coaching. I felt like it was really flat and I didn't know why. I wasn't that motivated. And that module was so powerful for me. Perhaps it was my favorite simply because I began to think about, who do I love to work with? Who could I get excited about coming to the call and just be all in about showing up powerfully for? And so that's why I began to think of the people who were really working at the boundaries of pushing culture and life and humanity as a whole collective to their upper limits. And so that's when I began to look at the people that I loved working with that were what I call edge walkers. It's a term I've heard used before in other contexts, but yeah, so when I really grasped that, I realized, wow, I can show up. I know who my tribe are. I actually started a salon called Sapio, and I've invited these incredible speakers who are edge walkers to come and talk about some of these issues. And I'm creating this gathering and this community around it, which evolved from that module. So
there you go. And here's the great thing that I love about this. When we're thinking about our own, who would we love to work with? They're a version of us somewhere on our path. And so I remember when you had sort of that light bulb moment that, oh, you're an edge walker. You're someone that has all of those attributes of what you just described, and how it made it so much easier for you when things just began to click.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Basically just recognizing that when I create my tribe, it's so much easier to know who's a good fit for me and who's not, and let go of the 9.5 so you can have the 10. Exactly. Don't be with the people that are just not quite right, but be confident that your tribe they're gonna hear you, they're gonna know you.
Yes. And I love that, because when we go for the good enough, we miss out on the ones that we're really supposed to coach and serve. And I know that coaches worry that the market's getting so saturated, but the truth is we're not supposed to coach everybody, just the ones that are the 10s for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So question for you, that everyone's wondering about this. Can you talk about the money? People are going to want to know, did you make money from taking the program? Did you make money from our coaching? Did it actually translate into a good return on your investment?
Yeah, this is really an important question. That's exactly what I wanted to know too. And of course, your mileage varies no matter what you do. It's about how much you're willing to show up and who you're willing to be in the process and really applying yourself and applying what you learned. I was really on the fence about, in some ways, whether I wanted to continue to deepen into coaching. And in some ways, this program was for me to convince myself that I could make it happen in a pandemic with everything going on, with me having changed careers and kind of let go of my email list. So this not only was it like talk about your hands tied behind your back and joining a group like this. So given all of that, I was able to double my income within the first quarter of last year, which was the first 3 months of Stairway to Six. And then at that point, I mean, my client roster, my goal was to have a wait list. I wanted to have a wait list of people. I work with people 6 months at a time now, when I used to work with them for 3 months. And so I was actually, my year for the next year is actually filled, and I have a current wait list. So
Virtual high five right there.
virtual high five, right? I'm actually needing to put people on the wait list. So in some ways, I'm like, that's an unusual feeling, but I love it.
Yeah. And you did it. And what would you say to anyone on the fence that they're like, I don't know, it's quite an investment. Should I do it?
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is you're investing in yourself. I mean, the quality of this program, first of all, I am a total training junkie. And not only that, I teach, I teach in a training
Exactly.
organization, so I'm super picky. So the value, Gretchen, that you offer, the integrity that you're working at, the high level of professionalism that you model, the investment that you've done in your own training. So in some ways, I felt like I was getting, the zillions of dollars you spent with all of these masters, that I was sort of getting to rent, part of your brain in this group, and just the group that you attract. I mean, you curate an incredible, outstanding group of performers, high performers, and just people all over the map, some new life coaches, but yet the way they're showing up, I felt like the value, I actually would have paid double and felt like I got enormous value. So
I love that. Maybe next year I'll charge double then. And there is something to be said with whoever you work with, that you aren't just getting their skills, you're getting the skills of every single coach, personal development, professional development course that they've ever taken. And so there's the flavors of it where maybe you've not coached with Steve Chandler, but the imprint that I've had with Steve Chandler has come to you. And then the people that you coach, they get it. I love that part about the people that we come into contact with and that we decide to partner with and hire.
Yeah, the lineage is incredible. I mean, I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh, that one of the most surprising and amazing moments was Steve Chandler. I got to actually meet Steve Chandler, and I think you're every bit as amazing as Steve Chandler, but how incredible that he would show up for this. I mean, that was such a beautiful surprise. So yeah.
100%. And so you're going to be our guest speaker. You're a guest teacher in February, and you're going to be talking about ethics and the importance of ethics in a coaching relationship. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I think this is so important, especially as coaching now is quite mainstream. You see it on television, there are reality shows about it. People are talking about it now. They know it's not just sports coaching. So guess what? It's not regulated. So therefore, anyone can say they're a coach. And unfortunately, that creates a lot of unevenness in the level of professionalism that the public is experiencing. So it's really important to have a conversation about what it means to be an ethical coach. So I am so honored to be able to have that conversation. As Gretchen, you mentioned that I do teach advanced life coaching. And so we dive into this a lot at the school that I teach at. And so just drawing from that, and really it's going to be, it sounds kind of heavy, but it's actually going to be really fun and experiential. And we're going to dive in and have this conversation of what does it look like to show up as an ethical coach so that your clients can feel trust and safety and they can really go deeply.
And it's really important because this, from the connection point, with Stairway to Six being about where can I find clients and how do I build that clientele, it happens with the first touch point. And our ethics are important from the very beginning. None of the bait and switch or that snake oil type of feel. And I love that about the International Coaching Federation, that we do have this great code of ethics that tells us how to behave, what relationships, what the best ways to have relationships, what to do with overlapping relationships, when to refer somebody out, because it makes it clear. And I know that we can get confused sometimes in the coaching frame of what's allowed and what's not. So I'm so glad that you're going to come and speak to us. And is there anything else, any parting words that you would give to someone watching this recording today that you'd like to end with?
I can just say that, do what you need to do to feel confident about this decision, because I trust that you'll do that. And when you opt in, and I hope you do, you will never regret it. It will be one of the best decisions you've ever made. It truly is an investment in yourself, in being an excellent coach, not only skill-wise, but professionally. And I look forward to hopefully seeing some of you in that ethics class.
Yeah, thank you so much, Samantha. It was great to be with you today.
Oh, thanks, Gretchen.